What's going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It is Saturday afternoon, and for those who join me in the midnight run, I definitely do want to thank you for hanging out with me. Now, recently, the great one has come to learn that Jay Masters, aka Father, was thinking about competing in a bodybuilding event. And I'm like, nah, he couldn't really want to compete in a bodybuilding event. So I went over to, I think his channel is It's Sick and It's Piss. Checked out the video, and indeed, Jay Masters indeed has aspirations to compete on the bodybuilding stage. Oh boy, I've heard everything, Quite frankly, I understand that he has aspirations to become a bodybuilder, but, there's been some observations that I have made that I think Mr. J Masters needs to hear about. There's a couple of issues with him actually competing. Now, number one, first and foremost, I'm not aware of him ever competing before. Now, if he's ever competed before, then it invalidates anything I say next. But I've never heard of Jay Masters competing. So he would actually have to learn a actual bodybuilding diet. And most importantly, he would have to learn how to pose as well. I'm sure some of the Delray misfits could actually help him out in learning the posing himself. But I don't think that Jay Masters has the aptitude, and I think his mind would wander in trying to learn posing. He'll think, well, I'll just learn that shit when I get on stage. And then he would be wrong! Because the most important thing on a bodybuilding stage is learning how to pose. You can have the greatest physique out there, and you could be ripped and shredded. But if you don't know how to pose, you won't be able to show yourself properly, and you're going to end up in the back of the bus. That's number one. Number two, Jay Masters' health is not really that good. He just got out of the hospital. And you guys know that in order for him to get down and cut weight and everything like that, he'd have to get some Durulix. He'd have to get some of that gummy berry juice. He'd have to do some of that murder powder and all other sorts. He'll definitely need to use some of that murder powder in order to get down ripped. And I don't think his heart could definitely handle something like that. Him dieting would literally kill him probably within a week or two. But the biggest thing is, and I have to lead back to number one, is that his mind wanders a bunch. Jay Masters will talk about doing things such as whether it's hang gliding or flying an airplane or joining the Foreign Legion or so forth. And then the next day, he'll act like he never said any of that, and stuff like that. So honestly, I think Jay is just BSing with everyone as usual, which is perfectly fine. That's his prerogative to do that, But, honestly, if Jay is wishing to take up any type of activity, I would recommend doing something else other than bodybuilding. Perhaps crochet. That's all I got to say today, people. Like and subscribe to the Vince Goodrum channel. Click the link below. Peace and soul.